Hey everyone, welcome to Module 5. Now, this is going to be an especially brief overview because the objective for this week is actually pretty straightforward. This week, you're to complete a draft for your essay, and it should be aimed at your first audience. So, I have just a few words of advice about approaching this, 4 points of advice. The first one is don't be daunted by having to put this thing together. All right. You've spent a month looking at the selected article and you've dug into it by responding to prompts and by doing structured writing. If I ran into you on the street and the subject of time management and the stress caused by life work imbalance came up, I know every one of you could say, I was reading this article about it and it said, and you just tell me about it. All right. So start out by thinking about this draft as doing just that. That'll get you started. All right. It is just a draft, remember. The second one is to make sure to look at this week's explanations in our textbook. They're very practical for getting you thinking about crafting good paragraphs and shaping your essay in an effective way. These chapters will really help you. All right. It's less big picture stuff and more, focused on actually getting the writing done. So make sure to reference those. All right. The third one is remember, and this is I was just talking about big picture versus small picture. This is kind of big picture for the whole thing about writing. All right. Ultimately, writers write because they want to be read. So do not approach this as just, you're being forced to write an assignment. All right. Write as though you are writing to be read. From the other side, readers come to your writing with the expectation that it will have something to say. They're not just reading it. Again, I'm in the position of being your reader, and it's my job to read your writing. However, if you're writing to be read, then I'm coming at it as a reader who's looking for you to have something to say. Don't think of what you're doing as just reporting on the article. Evaluate what it has to offer. Add content of your own on the subject. Bring something to what you say that the reader can't get by just putting down your essay on the article and go and picking up the article and reading it for themselves. All right. You want to make sure that you are the essential link in this. And this is where concentration on audience is important. You want to speak to what your exact audience wants or needs to hear. That will engage them. That will make them feel like they're getting value from you. All right. That presumably they would not get from the original article. All right. Now, the last thing I just want to mention is really think about structure as you work. All right. Use it to develop and enhance the logic of what you present. Now, we started off with a little piece of structure last week by having you do an introduction. This week, we'll want an intro, conclusion. We'll want well-shaped paragraphs. Basically, I don't expect everything to be perfect, but this is a goal to work towards. Structure is very important in the kinds of academic writing you will do through the rest of your college career. Academic articles tend to be very dense with information. So academic writers tend to lean into structure so that it helps as like guideposts for the reader. It makes them easier to navigate from part to part through all that dense stuff. All right. And that is going to be a big goal for you to try to achieve as well. It's not strictly all that important right now because you're not writing something super dense, but eventually you'll be writing more technical work. All right. So that's it for now. If you have questions during the week, by all means, let me know and we'll work it out. All right. Till next time. Adios.